So you want to make an ARG, huh? Do you? Well, luckily for you, you won't need to watch another video on how to do this. All you need is right here. This isn't a video on just how to make a good ARG, but we're also going to be covering good writing, how to make a good story, and also how to make your ARG go viral. Because we all know that you want to be the one to make the next big internet mystery that lives on for years to come. So let's dive in.
Transmedia.
This is when an ARG uses different forms of media to tell its story, presenting fictional events in a real-world sense. Essentially, just spreading fake news. I'm not even kidding, it's kind of like that. These ARGs always tend to try to shy away from being obvious. They try to hide in the shadows more so. You kind of have to discover that it is an ARG. Alternate reality games like this tend to utilize a lot of different things, such as websites, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, social media platforms in general, but some ARGs take it to the next level, bringing it into a real-world environment, utilizing physical locations and even payphones. The most famous example of this is an ARG that defined the genre, the I Love Bees ARG. We're going back in time, all the way back in 2004. Players were deep in the lore, analyzing a corrupted beekeeping website that was, in reality, a fractured AI narrative tied to the launch of Halo 2. This ARG had many online puzzles, but it wasn't only online. If you dug deep enough, you would eventually find a URL that led to some coordinates and a timestamp. Imagine you are one of those players. You've driven to a forgotten street corner at 3 in the morning. You're alone and standing in front of a cold, forgotten piece of infrastructure. The payphone. Then, at the precise second mandated by the AI, the phone rings. It wasn't a generic pre-recorded message, it's a real phone call. When players answered, they were connected to a character, an AI from the future, suddenly present with them on their street. Answering the phone was an instant physical commitment that they had to make. Players, known as axons, had to correctly answer a cryptic question derived from the game's lore. Cracking the cryptic question meant that the next piece of an unsettling audio would be unlocked for the entire community.
More than 3 months ago, I was shipwrecked here. A dead body. A broken shell. But you gave me life.
Now, just by simply being innovative with their ARG, they made this entire story so much more powerful and creepy. Admittedly, it's fucking creepy to go to a street corner at 3 AM. Put that in your ARG. It'd be cool. This flips the entire script, making the players part of your game. They're not playing it, they are actively inside of it.
Encryption.
In late 2022, a social media creator named Freakbait began posting daily animated videos, and these videos included unidentifiable colorful characters censored with this TV static sort of look, becoming something you have likely sent one of your friends while you are doom scrolling at 1 in the morning.
Today's mission. Whoever you send this video to owes you $5. But not me. It doesn't count on me.
Now, the format of these videos are simple. It opens up with a mission for these colorful characters to perform, and typically has a funny punchline.
The juice will eat away at the latex, and they'll start popping randomly.
So, it would be quite weird if Freakbait posted an advertisement for a quantum mechanics laboratory. That would be weird. Weird. Very weird.
At Demiurge Incorporated, we push the boundaries of innovation and exploration.
And it would also be weird if the name of the laboratory referred to an evil being that created the universe.
Demiurge.
I mean, you get the hint. Freakbait posted an advertisement for a quantum mechanics laboratory.
Demiurge Incorporated. Discover the future. Shape reality. The void is waiting.
Is it part of an ARG? Yeah, definitely. This is when most of Freakbait's audience clued into the fact that there was an ARG building, but a few select people already knew that there was an ARG here before the big announcement to the entire community. So a month or so before this laboratory advertisement was posted, Freakbait uploaded a very suspicious video. So the colorful characters, one of them, the red guy, was kidnapped in the back of one of these videos, taken into a van with the word Demiurge Inc. on it. You know, that entire evil being that created the entire universe. And this right here spirals into what is now known today as the 2 Days Mission ARG. Now, eventually this reveals a website called demiurgeinc.com. This website includes logs, experiments, and so much goddamn lore. Not just with the narrative, but with the characters as well. There is some really good character writing in this ARG, and it's why I love it so much. Now, many ARGs need something overly complicated for the investigators to kind of learn and crack to keep the normies out of the way, keeping the majority of people from understanding what's really happening here. This could either be done by using hidden codes, such as Morse code or Base64, or you could use something like steganography, which is also a really interesting way of hiding messages in your ARG. There's so many different ways to hide messages in your ARG, but this ARG in particular took a different route. Quantum mechanics. It's incredibly complicated, and it literally talks about the fabric of reality, which kind of makes it perfect from keeping those normal people from understanding your lore. And you could do something very similar with your ARG as well. When I asked Freakbait how he knew all of this info on quantum mechanics, he literally just told me he already knew it. He was just interested in it. So all you gotta do is just find something that you are interested in that not many people know about. You could literally just make an ARG surrounding that. You can mask your ARG with anything. Make a topological ARG, make a paranormal ARG, or fuck it, make a Scientology ARG. Don't actually do that. No, that's a bad idea. Okay, so now we've understood, you know, we gotta mask our ARG with stuff. I think it's time for a little bit of a history lesson. We've already talked about the I Love Bees ARG from 2004, but let's go ahead and go back to the ARG that started it all. The Beast, the story that invented the term alternate reality game without ever having a name for it. A murder mystery launched in 2001 to promote Steven Spielberg's film, AI. It started with a mysterious credit on a movie poster. Sentient machine therapist G9 Sala. This introduced the concept of this is not a game. There was no disclaimer. Players found a network of 40 professional-looking fictional websites, voicemails, and even classified ads, all detailing the death of an AI programmer.
If you need to know how to get to the funeral, please call Nancy at 919-425-2310. And if you have any idea how Evan of all people could die on a boat, then please tell me, because God knows I still can't believe it.
And the creators of this ARG were reading the community's forums and actively writing this ARG in real time.
This audience, this group of people, is so much smarter than we thought they were. Very first day, surprise! They solved all 6 months of content in about 2 hours. That was the day I installed a bed in my office because I knew I'm not going home ever.
That is a high stress commitment. You don't have to do that for your ARG, but that's kind of cool. Okay. Thumbs, key rules of thumb. Let's dive into it. The goal here is to make your story so addictive that players will be willing to dump hours of their life on brain-numbing code cracking in order to solve your mystery. If you want your ARG to be genuinely addictive, keeping people hooked at 3 a.m. digging through possible ciphers, you need to understand obsession. People get connected to well-written characters all of the time, when reading books or watching movies. Never ever slack on writing your characters. Gamers will instantly get hooked if they can emotionally be connected to a character. Character development is key here, by the way. At the end of the story, you don't want your character to be the same person they were at the beginning. You want them to have some development and change fundamentally as a person.
Well, that's all of life, right? I mean, it's the constant, it's the cycle, it's solution, this solution just over and over and over. It is growth, then decay, then transformation. It is fascinating.
If your character doesn't change, then what really happened in your ARG? For a good ARG, it always starts with something inconspicuous, as if you weren't meant to discover it, like when Halo 2 dropped its trailer and flashed a hidden link at the bottom of the screen. It's not meant for many people to notice, but some people did. And for that little small door of players that noticed this, that made them feel exclusive. You could also leave cryptic comments on social media posts, slowly drawing gamers into the story. You don't want anyone playing your ARG to feel like they were supposed to see this. You want to do this right though. Like what I'm saying here is you don't want somebody to click onto the main hook of your ARG and not really see anything creepy or weird going on. You want there to be something to keep them digging deeper. If not, they will just click off your main hook for your ARG and forget about that creation that you potentially spent months on. Okay, now that your players are hooked into the game, you gotta keep this going for a little while now. Think of your ARG as a knot. You want to try to make this knot as strong as you can, like a Gregorian knot, make it incredibly difficult to break. But why would I do this? I want people to dive into my lore. I put a lot of effort into this story. Well, the reason that you're doing this is because you just bet your life savings that a bunch of professional knot untiers couldn't untie your Gregorian knot. Now you got a crowd forming around you and a bunch of people wanting to see these professional knot untiers. They want to see them untie the knot. Now this is just a very weird way on how to describe making your ARG secretive and secure, but that's kind of just how yeah, I don't even know. That's what I was thinking in the coffee shop when I was writing this video. If that makes sense, that's great. But the reason for all of the security is you want your ARG to last. Typically, an ARG's lifespan will go on for a couple of months. Many go on for years. You don't want the story that you built to be solved within a weekend. That kind of just makes it boring, and not many people will be interested in that. The longer it goes on for, the more interest and the more people end up seeing it. Now, making your own ARG is going to take a lot of time. It's a huge commitment, kind of like starting a family. So you're going to need some tools to help you along the way, and these tools I personally use myself. It's such a game changer. Now let me just get in here real quick. Personally, for me, when I'm researching ARGs, I use this website called Milanote. They also have an app on your phone, so you're able to input ideas when you're on the go. This is really good for storyboarding and in general, just like making character boards. It's such a perfect thing for organizing your entire mind onto like a sheet of paper or a sheet of a website, whatever that means. Rise essentially just tracks your productivity, allowing you to clock in and out of work, and in the meantime, after work, you'll be able to go back and know what you were getting up to. If you're getting distracted while you're working, Rise will also just let you know, hey, get back to work. It's really useful if you're trying to make some really big story like an ARG, or in general if you're just a college student or you work from home. If you want to use this tool yourself, there is actually a free version, and I would highly suggest that you use it. That's actually what got me into using Rise personally. You can use my affiliate link in the description below, and you get 25% off if you use code ASO. I would highly suggest you use that code. Alright, now do you want to make your ARG get seen by millions of people? Yeah. I do. It's not easy. It's pretty hit or miss, I'm gonna be honest with you. You want to try to attract the YouTubers or the investigative social media gurus. These people will typically take all of the info from the investigators and churn it into a deep dive video investigation. This is when the internet becomes aware of the mystery that you have made. But how do you get these social media creators' attention? Well, luckily for you, I make videos covering ARGs, and I know what I look for in an ARG before I cover it, so I can just give you the deets. On top of that, I also asked a couple of YouTubers who cover lore and ARG on the internet, and I made them do a little bit of a fun quiz, so we're going to be diving into the results of that as well. So I've made a few videos in my time. The J Schlatt ARG, Today's Mission, Nutter Butter ARG, MatPat's ARG, etc, etc, it goes on and on. Now, what do these titles have in common? These titles surround something that is popular, such as J Schlatt. J Schlatt is a famous YouTuber. MatPat, also a famous YouTuber and politician, something like that. I don't know what he's doing. Anyways, this is called social hacking. Making an ARG surrounding a celebrity or a thing that is just popular will instantly make it more attractive to just the general population of people who's on the internet. Social hacking is very effective, but not everybody can use it. Alright, drum roll please. let's dive into the quiz results. All of these creators cover ARGs or cover lore on the internet, and I would highly suggest that you check them out. They make really good videos, so link in the description below. First question though, what is your favorite ARG? My Casey Valentine said Lacy Games and Baby. Baby? Justin Beaver. Remedy said Petscop. Willie St. Willie said Alan Tutorial. Hulf said Chain Mill Chasers. And Syzdix said Cicada 3301, which is a really good ARG. You should totally check that one out. What do you look for in an ARG/lore before making a video on it? Scope/real world implications. Quality and substance. If an ARG is mediocre, then I will not cover it. I am not a slop YouTuber. If it's good and hasn't been covered. The amount of content there is to look through, as well as if its storytelling device is different/stands out. Mainly two things, how disturbing/entertaining it is, and how immersive/somewhat believable it is as well. To be a good series, it doesn't need to do both, although some manage to do it, but it needs to do at least one of these. And then the last question is a really big question. Alright, lock in for this. Pancakes or waffles? I didn't think there was going to be a correlation to this, but 4 out of 5 of the YouTubers said that waffles were top tier, so take that as you will. Now, I don't want you feeling discouraged about these guidelines or rules. Ultimately, the ARG scene is just the Wild West. Take this video as more so motivation for what you're going to do with your ARG. Have fun with it. Explore mysteries and do something crazy. Maybe once the ball starts rolling for your ARG, you'll have the next famous game-changing lore on the internet that many people dive into years to come. And you've done it. Now, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. We're at 37,000 subscribers, and I'm really trying to hit that 50K mark where I lose my personality. So if you subscribed, I would really appreciate it. Now, typically at this point, I would just try to pitch you to watch another one of my videos, but I think it's best that we separate and you go on and make your own ARG. But if you want to keep watching, you should go ahead and click on this video that's over my face. It's a really good video. I probably cried a few times during it. It's probably very emotional and very lovely.